Hi VLR! Icebox have just come back, and it was the map with the most games that I didn't cover during pre-season for a precise reason. The map was out from the map pool. But since the map is finally back, it's time to make the map analysis based on last year's result. Keep in mind that with Terro, Vice and Waylay, the meta on the map might change a lot, but it's still interesting to look at past meta and the archetype logic, since these parts have a lot of chance to stay. As you know, I like to start my videos at analysis a map with composition archetypes. So basically, how many duelist, initiator, sentinel and controller they are in the composition, and if they are a diver, a flasher, a reveal, a sentinel and a controller in the composition. If you want more details about archetypes methodology, I have made a full video that I will post in the description. So we will start with the 3 easiest archetype. The most used archetype is the IS composition, so with a sentinel and 2 initiator, that is bound with the classical I archetype, 1 duel, 1 initiator flasher, 1 reveal, 1 sentinel and 1 controller. Those two archetypes not fully overlap because they have some composition where the duelist isn't a diver, so 46% pick rate versus 41%, but they have roughly the same 53% non-mirror win rate, but the result is not significant. The second archetype we will study is archetype without a diver that represent 15% of composition, and half of them are composition without a duelist. And all of those composition have 45% non-mirror win rate that is not significant. But I wouldn't pick them if I was you, especially if your duelist is confident on divers. The third archetype that is easy to study is composition with 2 duelists and 1 sentinel, and they represent 7% and have an horrible 39% non-mirror win rate. This archetype is tied with the classical D archetype, so 1 diver, 1 flasher initiator, 1 reveal, 1 sentinel and 1 smoker. And this archetype have 5% pick rate and a significant win rate of 32% non-mirror win rate. Please don't play double duelist on this map. And then we arrive to the hardest part to explain. Basically, there are a lot of archetypes that are linked to each other. Composition with 2 controller and 1 sentinel, and composition with 1 sentinel and a sage. Those two archetypes are strongly tied with composition without flasher, composition without reveal, or hybrid composition where the initiator is both a flasher and a reveal. Double controller had 15% pick rate that didn't work that well with 44% non-mirror win rate, but nothing significant, while composition with Sage did amazing. 19% pick rate with a significant 59% non-mirror win rate. Sage was truly amazing last year on Icebox. About archetype based on spell, we don't have a lot of data, so none of them have a significant non-mirror win rate. Zero reveal composition didn't work well with 46% non-mirror win rate, while Zero flasher did amazing with 55% and wasn't that far to be significant. Hybrid composition depends if it was a composition with a sage that worked well with 57% non-mirror win rate, or composition with a second controller that didn't work well with only 45%. Okay, so now we have finished to speak about archetypes, we can look at agents, and for once I will try to do it fast. So, there are 2 duelists with more than 5% pick rate. Reyna, with 13% pick rate and an horrible, almost significant non-mirror win rate of 40%, while Jet have 78% pick rate and a really nice non-mirror win rate of 55%. Some teams may try Waylay on Icebox, but Jet seems the best choice for the moment. About Initiator, there are 3 agents that are over 2% pick rate, and Boost are close from 50% pick rate. None of them have a significant non-mirror win rate, but they are not that far to have one. First, Gecko, that worked pretty well with 55% non-mirror win rate. Then, Kaio, that is slightly above 50%, and finally Sova at 46%. Gecko Solo Initiator seems the best choice, but I think they have room for Terro. About Trap Sentinels, only Killjoy is above 2% and she got 95% pick rate and a really great 57% non-mirror win rate, but this is not enough data to make it significant. Before Vice release, Killjoy was a must-have without any doubt, but now I don't really know because Vice can have some interesting setup. Sage is at 23% pick rate, and she have an almost significant non-mirror win rate of 57%. She does sound a good choice, even if I know you guys dislike her, but that's what the data says. In controller, let's address the elephant in the room. Viper and her 96% pick rate and a good 58% non-mirror win rate, but that is not significant because of the lack of sample size. But now, there are 3 other controllers that are above 5% pick rates. Arbor with 13, Omen with 8, and Clove with 7% pick rate. Only Clove did good with 56% non-mirror win rate that isn't significant because of the sample size. Omen were really close to have a significant bad 38% non-mirror win rate. Avoid Omen or find a better game plan than last year. It's kinda the same for Arbor and is 43% non-mirror win rate that is also not significant. So, to conclude, Viper is a must-have. Killjoy was a must-have, but now with Vyse I'm not really sure. Jett and Gecko seems the best choice, but you can make some try since there are room for Tero and maybe a Waylay. And for the last spot, it's pretty open, but there are 2 archetypes and agents that have more than 50% win rate and a decent pick rate. You can play Kaio if you want double initiator, but purely based on archetype and agent significant non-mirror win rate, Sage seems the best option. Sure, I'm still a huge fan of double controller composition because it allows you to have an amazing mid-round, but let's be honest, Icebox is a no-brain map, so maybe it's not the best to try it. Before ending, I want to share a special idea. I think you could try some nice things with Tero and Sage and maybe even Waylay, because Sage, and in a lesser extent Waylay, can lock people because of their slow to allow Tero to kill them without any lineup. That's also a bit true for Killjoy and Vyse, but it can be destroyed. And same for Viper, but contrary to Tero, she can't molly from everywhere on the map. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's good, but I really want to see some Sage Tero and maybe even Waylay combo, just to see if that could work.